emailed me to say the second video of syntax was not able to be viewed. Yeah, so I've already fixed it in the YouTube to make it available. Okay, sorry for that. So you can now watch the continuation of the syntax video. Yeah. Okay. We're going to have the second quiz next week. Next week during class time, which is December 26th. No, sorry. November 26th. 11 to 1. So we're going to have a quiz there. And then we're going to have our last lecture. And then I'm going to arrange with you a time for midterm, which is maybe 8th week. So next week is 7th week. Sorry, next week is 7th week, and then you go for your break, midterm break on the 8th week. On the 9th week, we start again classes, but this time it will be run by Dr. Badruzzaman Abdul Hamid. But I will ask your rep which day you are available to take the midterm exam. So the midterm exam will be the first week of December. If you don't mind, if we have it over the weekend, that's okay also. On Saturday, let's say. We try to see whether we can fix it during the week. But if not, we can do it on a Saturday, not a problem. Just like 2 hours. Okay, which is in-class online exam. Okay. So today we're going to talk about semantics. We are moving on to another topic, which is semantics. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah. So semantics, yeah. So in your continuation lecture on syntax, in your PowerPoint, I actually give you some examples of exercise that you can practice to to actually revise or to practice for the quiz. So the quiz will actually cover morphology and syntax. Okay. Did we do morphology for the quiz? Did we do the did I tested you on morphology for the quiz?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So I think the second quiz will be on morphology and syntax. Or I'll just do it at morphology lah, morphology. And then the midterm will be from the beginning until our last lecture. I haven't decided yet next week I'm going to do what. Haven't decided yet. So I will include that. Okay. So just so to confirm, the second quiz will be on just morphology. So study morphology. So I'll give you some problems, some examples of. Are you sure I didn't give you morphology for the first quiz? Like asking you what is bound morpheme, what is free morpheme. Ada tak?
No, not yet.
No. Oh, not yet. Okay. So I'm going to do morphology based on my lecture notes and also based on the reading in that book, Introduction to Linguistics. Okay, so today we're going to move on to another topic, which is semantics. So, all right. Okay, semantics. Sorry. Semantics, hey? It's closer. All right. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can see, So I'm just gonna take this off. Okay. So what is a semantics? Semantics is a subfield of linguistics, just like morphology. Yeah. Can you see? Tak nampak slide Can you see now?
No.
No.
You cannot see. I have to go back to the main. I share. Maybe the main screen. Can you see?
Yes,
Yes.
doctor.
All right. Okay. So this is semantics. So it is subfield of linguistics, and it deals with linguistic meaning. It deals with meaning and how expressions convey meanings. So we're going to see what is the nature of meaning itself, meaning what exactly are linguistic meanings, and their relationship to the language user on the one hand, and the external world on the other hand. So when we are looking at meaning, we are looking at the language itself, what is the linguistic meaning, and then sometimes the meaning is connected to the speaker or the hearer, the speaker usually, so relationship to the language user, and the external world on the other. External world is the world outside. When we are talking about meaning, we cannot escape from talking about our world, which is our world outside, the world that we live in. Yeah. So semantics not only study word meanings, but it also studies how meaning are combined to form bigger meanings. So for example, in a sentence, we would have the meaning of the words and then combined to be meaning of the phrases of the sentence. So usually we can take you can take the meaning of the words plus the meaning of the phrase put together becomes the meaning of the clause or the sentence. Finally, the study of natural language meaning involves meaning relations between expression. So between the words, they get meaning from each other. Yeah, the meaning of words are actually a part of the meaning of words is the meaning of the interrelationship between the words. Okay. So sometimes we use a linguistic meaning is a special subset of the more general human ability to use signs. So we use the word mean So those vultures are like eagles, big birds. Those vultures mean there is a dead animal up ahead. So the vultures is an indication of there's a carcass, a human, animal carcass up ahead, because the vultures would want to go and have a meal out of the dead animal. So whenever you see vultures around, usually in cowboy movies, you see vultures around, and then you can be sure that there is a dead animal somewhere. Or we use the word mean to in this second sentence. His high temperature may mean he has a virus. So this is a cause and effect also, where the high temperature indicate or represent that his body is fighting infection or virus. And then the word mean can also be used to in sentence 3. The red flag means it's dangerous to swim. So this is a symbol. The red flag is a symbol, but it also the function of it is to convey some message. So when you see a red flag on the beach, means it's dangerous to swim on that stretch of beach. But however, red flag as a symbol is quite arbitrary. That means can change from one culture to another. Okay, so maybe in some other culture is another color that reflects danger. Okay, um, so number 4, those stripes on his uniform mean that he is a sergeant. So stripes on someone's uniform personnel indicate that he is of a certain ranking. So this is also arbitrary, depends on, but I think it's quite general, it's quite universal in that sense. So a sergeant versus a captain versus a major would have a different number of stripes. But all of these sentences convey meaning. It does represent meaning. So when we talk about semantics, we're talking about signification. So signification is the process of creating and interpreting symbols. This famous linguist, Ferdinand de Saussure, in 1955, is very old, but he is the father of modern linguistics. So he stressed that the study of linguistic meaning is part of the general study of the use of sign systems called semiotics. Yeah. So what is semiotics? Semiotics is the type of relationship that may hold between a sign and the object that it represents. Okay, so we see whether the next one is this one. So so this is the triangle of meaning. Triangle of meaning. This was proposed by Ogden and Richards. So this is how meaning is conceptualized. So first you have the form. The form is the word, and the word carries meaning. Yeah? But that's not complete. You need to connect that to a referent. And the referent is the object, the thing, the activity that is in the world. Okay? So form is in the language, and then the referent is in the world. So when we combine them, we have a form, which is basically a word, and then we can refer, we have a meaning with it, and then we refer it to a referent. So for example, if you have the word car, C-A-R, and then the reference is an object which has wheels, which can carry passenger, we can travel from one location to the other. It's usually a personal, it can be a personal or a public transportation, So these are defining the referent, So as you can see that this is how we form meaning. As a child, as a baby, how does the baby understand the meaning of words? So the baby will be listening to adults speaking, and the baby will concentrate that a certain word, milk, for example, is referred to as this thing. If he is breastfed, the milk that he got from his mom, or if it's from a bottle milk, it's a container which has something nice inside that when he drinks it, he gets filled up. Yeah. So after a while, he will then associate from susu or milk to the particular object in the world, and uh, and and this is the basis of what we call naming. So when a baby learns the meaning of words, he associates the word with the referent. Okay, so this is the process of meaning formation lah. So Ferdinand de Saussure is the father of modern linguistics. He is influential in the development of modern linguistics. Why is this important? Because before 1955, before Ferdinand de Saussure, linguists were more interested in historical linguistics. They were more interested in knowing the development of language through time. So we have, for example, Old English, or classical English, and then Old English, and then modern English. So they study the developments that happen at various stages of the language. But then Ferdinand de Saussure brings back attention to the language itself, meaning you need to focus on the diachronic analysis of language. That means the system of the language itself, um, the syntax, the morphology, and also the semantics. So Ferdinand de Saussure says that the meaning of linguistic expression derive from two sources: the language that they are a part of, our language, and the world that they describe. Yeah? And words stand in relationship to the world. And what does he mean by the world is the way we classify things mentally, um, the way we see the world, the way we see the world, and the way we classify the world from our perspective, usually from our culture. So that's why we see uh, different cultures have different way of looking at the world based on their beliefs and cultural practices. So words stand in relationship to the world or mental classification of it, and it allows us to identify parts of the world and make statements about them. Okay, so we will see later what this means. So then aspects of meaning, aspects of linguistic meaning. There are two things that we always refer to when we discuss linguistic meaning. One is sense, and the other one is reference. So these are important concepts, sense and reference. Okay. So sense. It's a kind of mental representation of its meaning or some kind of concept. For example, when we hear the word cat, what images comes to your mind? So you think about images of your own cat, for example. What are the characteristics? So the characteristics could be number of limbs, means the cat has 4 legs. Fury, cats have some kind of layer of coating, layer to protect their skin. They are somehow related to panthers. They like to eat fish, for example. They like to drink milk, So these are the characteristics, the sense of the word cat. Or if you're a cat lover, that's it. But if you don't like cats, you don't like cats. So when you hear the word cat, you think of allergies. Let's say you are allergic to cats. So whenever you get rashes all over your body when there's a cat around. So when the word cat comes, or you hear the word cat, you'll think of your allergic reaction to the cat. So although you would have that, you would also have the primary characteristics of cats, that it has four legs, it has a tail, and then fury and things like that. So to know the sense of an expression is to have some mental representation of its meaning. So to me is that the sense is the aspects of meaning that when you combine them, it forms the full meaning of the word. Okay, so people say the six blind men, when they were asked to touch the elephant, so each of them will give a description of the elephant based on the parts that they are touching. So someone will touch the husk and then say, an elephant has sharp, a smooth and sharp, how do you say, horns, let's say. And then someone touches the leg, and then they say, the elephant has big fat legs. And these are the things that will, when you put them together, it will be the meaning of the elephant. Okay. So by knowing the sense of some expression, you will also know its relationship to the world or its reference. So by knowing the characteristics of the cat, you'll be able to pick out those things in the world that are indeed cats. So when you say cats, you're actually referring to the group of cats in the world. Okay? That's what it means. Okay, what about reference? Reference is the particular entities in the world to which some expression refers. So reference is basically direct reference to the world. It's raining here very heavily. Can you hear me? I hope it's clear on your side. Yeah. So for example, Garfield, Felix, and Fluffy, these are names of cartoons, are among the reference of the expression cat. So the collection of all reference of an expression is its reference. So meaning the cat is a group of animals having the senses that we just talked about, can. So the word cat refers to the group of cats in the world. It also refers to anything which related to cats. Let me close the window. So, so the collection of, it will refer to also other names that we give to cats. So these are popular names that we associate with the word cat. Okay, so so what is the difference between sense and reference? To me, sense is within the language. Within language means aspects of the meaning of cat put together will form the meaning cat. Whereas reference is going from the language to the world. I would say that first we start with sense. After we understand, let's say as a toddler, we know the word cat. After we know about the different meaning of cat. But then we also know what it refers to in the world. So when we see an animal like that, we say, cat. Meow meow, let's say meow meow, cat. Okay, so distinction between sense and reference. So unicorn. We have a sense of unicorn. Unicorn is a myth. It's a myth in the West. Unicorn, the picture is always an image of a white four-legged creature with a single horn on its forehead. It's a myth. However, so this is the reference, the sense of the word unicorn. But in the real world, there is no reference for unicorn. No creature in the world can be referred to as a unicorn. However, you can say that in the world of folklore, in the world of folklore, Western folklore, There are stories which has unicorn in it. That's also a different world. So we can say there's, let's say, if you read Alice in Wonderland, kan, there are many things or many objects or things in there that are different from the real world, right? So a cup in Alice in Wonderland can speak, but not in the real world. So we can say in the world of Alice in Wonderland, there is this cup who can speak, but in the real world, cups cannot speak. So in our sense here, a unicorn, in the real world, in our modern world now, there's no reference, no creature. Okay. What about Queen of the United States? So Queen, as we know, is the highest ranking, highest person of the reigning royalty, let's say. I need to fix this. Highest ranking member of the reigning royalty, which is, let's say the expression is Queen of the United States. Okay, so in the language we can give sense, the different sense of the word Queen of the United States. It is the highest ranking member. She governs the whole kingdom and stuff. But in the real world, it doesn't refer, because the United States does not practice monarchy. It practices the system of democracy. Okay, so this is a distinction between sense and reference lah. Okay, so word sense we can have at various levels. One is the dictionary style definition, which is the imagined, idealized dictionary that changes with time. The dictionary will list all the words in a language at a given time and provides a definition. As you know, they update the dictionary. So after so many years, they will actually, the lexicographers will actually update the dictionary, put in new words. Yeah? So it is updated from time to time. And any possible words in the language will be in the dictionary. If it's a good dictionary, it will list all the words that are used in the language. And then you have the mental image dictionary. So the mental image dictionary is a word meaning stored in our minds, in our mental lexicon. Yeah? So we have a mental image dictionary. And then we also have a usage-based definition. Usage-based definition, when we know what a word means, then we know what conditions it is appropriate to use it. So as you can see, this is a mix between the dictionary definition and the world definition, because usage, we use the language in the world. Yeah? So sometimes you have the meaning in the dictionary, but it changes a little bit when it's used. Yeah? It might change a bit, the meaning. And we know, like, when is it proper to use certain words. Okay. For example, the expression "kick the bucket." Kick the bucket is basically someone who dies. Orang yang meninggal dunia kan. So kick the bucket is good if you are, sharing a joke with your friends, playing around, fooling around and playing. So you can say, "Oh, he already kicked the bucket," means he dies. But it's not a word that you use at a burial ceremony. It's not respectful. So there are certain words that we use which is proper. So these are the senses of the word at different level. And then you have word reference. So a word refers to specific entities in the world. So what are the things that can become the meaning of words? So the words itself. So it can be ideas in your brain, in other people's brain, in my brain, things in the world, individual concepts, proper names, classes, kinds of things, properties, natural kinds, nouns, adjectives, activities, action concepts, verbs, functional words, grammatical items, these are harder, usually harder because the meaning, it has meaning but not as, a bit opaque in that sense, tak clear lah. But things like things, individuals, adjectives, activities, they are clear, transparent meaning. But with functional words, they're a bit opaque, not very clear, unless you know the grammar. And then you have morphemes. Morphemes have meaning. Yeah. And then words like connective words, and later, pronouns, preposition. These are words which the meaning are very specific. Yeah? Okay. Now we see that the use of one word can determine the difference in the sentence meaning. So we're going to see example. Tom opened the safe by using a blowtorch. So the word highlighted here is by. So by here indicate instrument lah. Instrument. How did he open the safe? By using a blowtorch. So by is indicating instrument. Tom opened the safe without using a blowtorch. So now we can compare the difference between the first sentence and the second sentence. And the difference is only between the words highlighted, between by and without. So the second sentence would mean he opened the safe without using. He opened the safe by exploding the door of the safe by using explosives. So there's a change here with the word without. Tom opened the safe while using a blowtorch. So you can imagine that the safe is already open. So he opened the door of the safe, and then he was doing something else using a blowtorch. So he was trying to break something, maybe a safe box, for example, having some valuable inside, kan? So he opened the safe, and then at the same time, on his other hand, he was holding a blowtorch, trying to open the safe box. So while here is describing two things happening at the same time. Okay. Let's see, we have another sentence in that. Oh, no. So what we have, what this is showing is that due to one word, the whole meaning of the sentence changes. So very important. When you are using words, sometimes it does bring change to the meaning. Okay. So then meaning can also be conveyed by the difference in structure. So we have sentence, Anna hit John and John hit Anna. So you can see that the same verb, the same noun, Anna and John. However, the order of the sentence is different. So in this first sentence, Anna is first. So Anna is the doer, and then John is the receiver. However, in sentence 2, John hit Anna. John is the doer, and Anna is the receiver. So you can see that sentence 1 and 2 has different meaning. So the meaning of a sentence is determined by the meaning of its parts and the way in which they are syntactically grouped. So as you can see, the word order is different here. The word order is the same actually, SVO, subject, verb, object. But what is in the subject and what is in the object is different. So it changes meaning. Yeah? Okay. So now we looked at meaning, what is meaning, how meaning is arrived at, what impact does word meaning has to the sentence. Now we're going to look at a meaning relation. Words have, as I said just now, the meaning of words depend on the meaning of other words. So each of the words have a different relationship. Yeah? Okay. So the first relationship is called hyponymy. Hyponymy. We say that a word X is a hyponymy of a word Y if the set that is always the reference of X is always included in the set that is the reference of Y. when some set X is included in set Y, we can also say that X is a subset of Y. So in a sense, Y is the superordinate, okay? And X is the subordinate. So you can imagine that there is a hierarchy. Y is at the top and X is at the bottom. So X is a hyponymy of the word Y. Okay. So poodle and dog. So the reference of a dog is the set of all things that are dogs, while the reference of poodles is the set of all things that are poodle. So imagine if there are exactly 3 individuals in the world that are poodles, namely Frou-Frou, Princess, and Miffy. All poodles are also dogs. However, aside from these 3 poodles, there are also other individuals that are dogs but are not poodles. For example, like Alsatian, they are dogs but they are not poodles. So there will be another kind of dog which is Alsatian. But there are also a set of dogs. So now the Y is dogs, and then the X first is poodle, and under X is the 3 poodle, Frou-Frou, Princess, and Miffy. And then you have put aside poodle, then you have another subset of Y, which is Alsatian, a kind of another kind of dog. All right. So so therefore, the word poodle is the hyponymy of the word dog, and conversely, dog is a hyponym of poodle. Okay. Synonymy. 2 words are synonymous if they have exactly the same reference. So if you say sofa and couch, they are basically referring to the same thing. It's just that the context of use. Sofa is more refined than couch, let's say. But basically it refers to a furniture which can sit 2 or 3 people, or 1, 2 or 3 people, comfortable, made of. So you can give characteristics of sofa. And couch should be the same. Yeah. Quick and rapid, same, referring to the degree of speed. Hardworking, industrious, also the same. Antonymy. Antonymy is being the opposite. The meaning is opposite. 2 words are antonyms of one another if they have meanings which are related, yet these meanings must contrast with one another in some significant way. So sometimes the oppositeness is complementary. So complementary antonyms. So 2 words are complementary if there is nothing in the world that is a part of both X's reference and Y's reference. So so for example, fat and thin. So these are 2 words, but they are complementary. And sometimes it's actually stating that something implies that it isn't Y. X generally implies that it isn't Y, then X and Y form a complementary pair. So for example, if you say married, the contrast is unmarried. Or alive, dead, win or lose. So they are part of a process. Married, unmarried is part of life process. Life and death is part of life process. Win or lose is part of competition. So they are opposite sides of something. Antonyms can also be gradable pairs. So gradable antonyms typically represent points on a continuum. So while something can be one or the other but not both, it can also easily be between the 2. So gradable means, it doesn't mean that it can also, it doesn't have to be X or Y, but it can also be in between X and Y. So for example, water may be hot, may be cold, but you can actually say that it also is also in between. It can be warm, it can be lukewarm, it can be cool, chilly. So you have the extremes, hot and cold, but in between you will have this other degree of hotness or coolness. So gradable pairs tend to be relative in that they do not represent an absolute value. All right. So an old dog has been around for many fewer years than an old person. So for example, an old person, the oldest person in the world might be 100 something years old, okay? 132, for example. But an old dog cannot be comparable to an old person. So an old dog can be maybe just a few years. I'm not sure about how old a dog can be, but not as old as a person. So there is a gradable of old age. A large size. So a large blue whale is a very big fish. It's different from a large mouse. So a mouse is very small, but a large mouse is a bit larger than the ordinary mouse. But it is never comparable to a big blue whale. Other examples of gradable antonyms: wet and dry, easy and hard, old and young, love and hate. Love and hate. Sometimes there's a love-hate relationship. At times you love and at times you hate, So that's the in-between of it. Converses. Two opposite points of view or a change in perspective. For one member of the pair to have a reference, the other must have as well. So this is like a transaction. Someone lending, there must be someone lending, and then that other person can borrow. If no one is lending, cannot borrow. Sending and receiving, someone must send for it to be received. Employer, employee, same thing, over and under. Okay, so now we're gonna watch. Let's see. If I have it. Let's see. Gonna watch a video. Okay. Tak boleh, kena. Can you see the video? Can you see the video?
Yes.
Yes.
I probably need to
Yes.
Okay, hold on. You close it. I stop it first. Need to go back to sharing. Sorry. Create computer sound.
Look at the role of semantics within linguistics, as well as the role of semantics in other disciplines. And we will discuss.
You can't see the whole video.
Can't see. Can you see now? No.
Of semantics.
No.
Now, the term semantics, originally a Greek term, is a recent addition to the English language. However, in its early use in the 19th century, the term was not used simply to refer to meaning, but
screen. Can you see now?
No.
No, huh?
No. No.
See if I try this. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Start again.
Excuse me, doctor. Is
Yeah.
the video playing?
Huh?
Is the video playing?
Yes.
Because it's still on pause and there's no audio.
Okay. That means wait. Oh, I see. The okay. I go back. When I share just now, I have to share the computer. I share computer, include computer, and then screen.
This first
Can you hear the
e-lecture
sound?
of the VLC Semantics and Pragmatics class discusses the
Yeah. All right.
But we can't see the video.
and provides an overview of other academic disciplines with an interest in the subject. Furthermore, it outlines several issues related to the description of meaning. In particular, we will look at the role of semantics within linguistics, as well as the role of semantics in other disciplines. And we will discuss the central goals and objectives of semantics.
Doctor, we can't
Now, the
see the
term
video,
semantics,
but we can hear the audio.
originally a Greek term, is a recent addition
Actually,
to
we
the
can
English
just watch on YouTube.
In its early use in the 19th century, the
Can
term was
you?
not used simply to refer to meaning, but to its development.
Oh,
What
I'm
we
gonna put
today
it.
call
You can watch
historical
it. I can put
semantics.
it.
Despite additional attempts around 1900, the term did not catch on until Ogden and Richards published their now famous book, The Meaning of Meaning, in 1923. Today, semantics is one of the central areas within linguistics, with ambitious goals and numerous applications and influences, but also one of the most
in the
problematic
chat,
ones.
and then you can
Linguists
watch it
working
on your
within
phone
semantics study the
or
ways in which
computer.
words or sentences acquire meaning, and the processes by which native speakers of a language can assign stable interpretations to word strings. Since meaning can be influenced by various linguistic factors, semantics plays an important role in most branches of linguistics, with the exception of phonetics and, of course, semantics itself. This is why we erased it over here.
So I already pasted on
Let
the
us look at
chat.
some examples. let's start with phonology.
Yeah.
In phonology,
So you want
the
to
study of the
watch it? It's
sound
just a
systems
short
of
video actually
particular
about.
languages, semantics is related to meaning studies in several ways. Phonemes can distinguish meanings by means of establishing
About 15
so-called
minutes. It's only about
minimal
15 minutes.
pairs such as ben and pen. We can show that the exchange of one phone by another one, so and p over here, that the exchange of one phone by another one leads to a difference in meaning. Thus, the two items
Doctor,
must
Yeah.
be two different
can
tones.
you mute your mic for a while, because while we are watching on
It's
YouTube, we
different,
can listen to your audio
stress
too.
Okay.
that we adopt in
Yeah.
speaking. Cases of lexical stress in present-day English, where we have examples such as contrast and contrast, export versus export. Now, cases like these where the placement of stress
We
within
can
a word
still
changes
hear
the
your audio though.
note. Or take a simple sentence such as
Okay, it's fine now. Thank you, doctor.